Good morning to all. Myself, Manoj Kumar Gundela, Assistant Professor, Suresh Gyan Vihar University, Jaipur. So we are discussing about the production technology of vegetable and spices. So today we will discuss the production technology of dill and celery. First is dill. The scientific name of dill is Anthium graveolens. Family is Umbelliferae. Chromosome number 2n is equal to 22. It is originated from Mediterranean region. Indian dill. The scientific name is Anthium sova. It is mainly grown in northern India. Anthium graveolens and Anthium sova. Indian dill. Common name, it is also called as sova. Bengali, it is called as sova. Gujarati is called as surua. Kannada, it is called as Savesain. Kashmir, it is called as Sor. In Malayalam, it is called as Satakupa. So these are the common name of dill. Economic importance. Entire dill plant used as aromatic. It is mainly used as an aromatic plant. The most of the volatile oil is in the seed. So normally whatever the volatile oil that is present in the seeds and fruits. The principal constituent of herb oil is The principal constituent of herb oil is phylloxera. Phylloxera. The seed oil is carvone. The seed oil is called as carvone. The oil content in fresh herbage from 0.6 to 2.84%. The oil content in the fresh herbage 0.6 to 2.84%. The oil content at flowering stage is 1.5 to 1.7%. At time of flowering, the oil content is 1.5 to 1.7%. Distribution. It is mainly grown in Iran, Egypt, Abyssinia, Germany, USA, Holland and Asia Minor and England. In India, it is successfully grown in Jammu Kashmir, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan. It is mainly grown in Rajasthan also. Distribution. So dill is a herbaceous annual or biennial plant growing to the height of 1 to 1.2 meter. The height of the plant is 1 to 1.2 meter. Pinnately divided leaves, light green in color. Stem is smooth, bearing the terminal umbel. The inflorescence is umbel, terminal umbel. Flowers are yellow in color. The color of the flowers is yellow. Light brown seed emits an aromatic odor. They will release the aromatic odors. Both seed and leaves are used as a spice. Seeds and leaves both are used for the spice purpose. Soil and climate. It required well-drained, fertile, sandy loamy soil with good drainage facility. Sandy loamy soil with good drainage facility means water stagnation will be not there. Avoid the heavy clay soil. It is not grown in heavy clay soil. The pH of the soil is 8.6. It is well grown in. The pH of the soil is 8.6. Dill is quite hardy plant and may thrive well in a cooler climate. It is a hardy plant but it may grow in the cooler climate. It is grown as rabi season crop in the Indian plains. The strong wind and heavy rains during the flowering may injure the crop. If the wind speed is more and heavy rains are there, it will infect the crop. The extreme heat during the maturity, the oil yield is reduced. If the extreme heat is there at the time of maturity, the oil content will be reduced. Varieties: Haldwani selection, English stock, Mammoth, Long Island, Hercules, K299, K253. So these are the some important varieties of dill. Cultivation: so it is mainly propagated through seeds. The seed rate is 3 kg per hectare. It required 3 kg seed rate per hectare. Season of planting is March to April. The spacing is 60 into 30 centimeters. Plant to plant 60, row to row 30 centimeters. Propagation through seeds, seed rate is 3 kg per hectare, and March to April is the time of sowing. Method of planting. So normally we will go for line sowing. Broadcasting is well prepared field. We can go for broadcasting in well prepared field. The seed germinate in 7 to 9 days after sowing. If the crop is sown late, the vegetative phase is reduced. If we sow the crop late, means the vegetative phase will be reduced, lowers the yield of seed crop. So if we go for late sowing, then the seed yield will be reduced. Enduring, the FIM is 20 ton per hectare. The crop respond well to the application of nitrogen and phosphatic fertilizer. So if we apply the nitrogen and phosphatic fertilizers, the crop will grow fast. A dose of 40 kg of nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium is applied. 40 kg nitrogen, 40 kg phosphorus and 40 kg potassium is applied. Recommended to obtain the economic yield of dill. Weeding and irrigation. The plot should be free from the weeds. Whatever the plots we have to select for growing the dill, it is free from the weeds. Application of enflurane or ethaflurane 1.1 kg per hectare. Regular irrigation at 8 to 12 days interval. We have to go for regularly, we have to irrigate the crop depending on the soil and climatic condition. Generally 8 to 9 irrigation are required at the time of maturity to the crop development. It requires the 8 to 9 irrigation maturity to the development of the crop. Intercropping. The intercropping, we can go for intercropping with Rauwolfia serpentina, Mentha arvensis, and Salvia scleria. So these are normally we will go for intercropping. Use of growth regulator. Gibberellic acid 50 ppm is applied 15 days after emergence to increase the yield and improve the flavor. So to increase the yield and flavor, we apply the gibberellic acid 50 ppm at 15 days after emergence we apply. Harvesting. The quality of the oil depends on the state of maturity of the herb and the seeds. For dill oil, the harvesting is done 3 to 4 month old and milky stage. Dill oil, the harvesting is done in 3 to 4 months old and milky stage. After harvest, the plants are allowed to wilt in the field for 1 to 2 days and then distillated. Means we will harvest the plant 3 to 4 months. After that, we will keep the plant in field itself for 2 to 3 days, and after that we will go for distillation of the oil. For seed crop, seed turning, when the seeds are turned into the brown color, that time we will go for harvesting. The harvesting is normally done in the morning time, early morning time. Harvested material is dry in the field and threshed. Means in field we have to dry and then we go for threshing. Means we will extract the seeds. The seeds after drying and clearing packed into the gunny bags. After drying and clearing, we will pack the seeds into the gunny bag and keep into the cool and dry place. After packing, we keep the seeds into cool and dry place. The herbage yield is 2.5 to 3 ton per hectare. On distillation, it will give 18 to 20 kg oil with 30% carbon. But if we go for distillation, we will get the 18 to 20 kg of oil which contain 30% carbon. The herbage yield is 2.5 to 3 ton per hectare, and the seed yield is 5 to 7 quintal per hectare. Seed yield is 5 to 7 quintal per hectare. Uses: immature flower heads are added to salads. Immature flower heads are used for the salad. Dill fruits are used in a varieties of meat dishes. Meat dishes means whatever the meat dishes we are preparing that we can use. Dill is steeped in hot milk to induce the sleep. Dill is most often used for the pickle, which are very popular in Germany. In Germany, it is mainly used to preparation of pickles. Crepe water used by mothers for babies to help the sleep. Its water is also used for babies to sleep. Dill is also believed to have a anti-cancer properties. It is also work as a anti-cancer. Different value-added products are prepared from the dill, like dill seed oil, dill weed or dill leaves. From these leaves, dill weed is prepared from the dill leaves, and dill grip water. So these are the different value-added product is prepared from the dill. So pest and disease. In pest and disease, a major pest is powdery mildew. So powdery mildew means powdery growth will be appears on the upper surface of the leaves, and petiole and flower stalk and bracts means complete plant the powdery growth will be appear. The leaves become chlorotic. Due to the development of powdery growth, the leaves will start chlorotic, and leaves become chlorotic, and severe infection causes the flowers to be deteriorate. In severe infection, the flowers will be deteriorate. Management: grow the tolerant varieties, avoid the excess fertilizer application, spray of wettable sulfur 0.2% at weekly interval. We will spray the wettable sulfur 0.2% on weekly intervals. Cercospora leaf blight. The Cercospora leaf blight is caused by the Cercosporidium punctatum. Symptom: small necrotic flecks on the leaves which develop a chlorotic halo. Expand into the tan brown necrotic spots. The lesions coalesce and cause the leaves to wither and curl and die. The leaves means the necrotic spots will develop on the leaves, and the leaves will start curling and the leaves will get die. Management: use of disease-free seeds, follow the crop rotation, use the appropriate fungicides. It is transmitted by fungicide, so we will use the appropriate fungicide. Aphid. So in heavy aphid infestation may lead to the yellowing and distortion of the leaves. So aphid is mainly attack on the leaves, and they will suck the sap from the leaves. If they suck the sap from the leaves, due to that the leaves colors will be changed into the yellow color, and distortion of the leaves will be start. The necrotic spots will develop on the leaves. The aphid secretes the honeydew, which encourages the growth of sooty mold. The honeydew is secreted from the aphid, and that encourages the sooty mold. Management: spray the malathion 0.5%. During the severe infestation, we will spray the malathion. Next crop is celery. So celery, the scientific name of celery is Apium graveolens. Apium graveolens family Umbelliferae, chromosome number 2n is equal to 22. It is also originated from Mediterranean region. In Hindi, it is called as Azmunda. Bengali, it is known as Chanu. In Marathi, it is known as Azmoda. Punjabi, it is known as Karnolai. Gujarati, it is called as Bodi Jamuda. Distribution: India, Algeria, Asia, Balochistan, Belgium, Egypt, Ethiopia, Sweden, Germany, Italy, France. In India, it is mainly cultivated in Haryana, Punjab, and western Uttar Pradesh. The celery is mainly grown in Haryana, Punjab, and western UP. Area of the crop is 5,000 hectare. It is grown in 5,000 hectare area. About 90% of the total produce comes from the Punjab. So maximum it is grown in Punjab only. Economic importance: the seeds contain the 2 to 3% essential oil. It is mainly used to extraction of essential oil. The oil is pale yellow in color. It contains the D-limonene. It contains the D-limonene 60% and B-selenin 10 to 12%. The leaves are a rich source of minerals like calcium, phosphorus, iron, vitamin A and C. Leaves contain the calcium, phosphorus, iron, vitamin A and C. It is consumed in salad. Normally it is consumed as a salad purpose. Normally we use celery. Description: celery is a herbaceous plant. Usually it has the 60 to 120 centimeter height of the plant. Stems are branched, angular, jointed and light green in color. Stems are branched, angular, jointed and light green in color. Leaves are oblong, 7 to 18 centimeter long, pinnate and trifoliate. When white flowers are born in compound umbel, the white flowers will develop in compound umbel. The flowers are white or greenish white, very small or seasonal compound umbel. The inflorescence is compound umbel. These are the inflorescence in celery. The inflorescence is compound umbel. These are the seeds of celery. These are the flowers, white color flowers. Roots is succulent, well developed with numerous lateral roots. Celery seeds are very small, about 1 to 2 mm in length and ovule and greenish brown in color. 1 to 2 cm in length and ovule and greenish brown in color. The seeds. The celery seeds are pleas- pleasingly crisp textures but slightly bitter taste. In India, it is mainly grown for the seed purpose. So celery is mainly grown for the seed purpose in India. Soil. The crop grow well in silt loamy to loamy soil. It depends on the moderate. It contains the moderate organic matters. Celery is not suited for clay soil. It is not grown in clay soil. It is mainly grown in silt, loamy or loamy soil. It does not withstand in water stagnation. So if the water stagnation is there, that time also it will not grow properly. The pH of the soil is 6 to 8.5. The soil pH is 6 to 8.5. Climate. In cooler climate, the celery behave as a biennial plant, but in the plains it behave as an annual plant. It is grown in cooler climate, it is behave as a biennial plant, but in plains it is behave as an annual plant. It can be successfully cultivated as a winter crop. Area which are free from the severe frost. Whatever the area we select, it is free from the severe frost. It is sensitive to very low temperature, 5 to 10 degrees centigrade. It will cause the early bolting. It is sensitive to very low temperature, 5 to 10 degrees centigrade temperature, and that it will be cause the early bolting. A combination of 12 to 15 degrees centigrade temperature and 22 to 25 degrees centigrade night and day temperature gives the 80% seed germination in 2 weeks. If the temperature is 12 to 15 and 22 to 25, 12 to 15 in night and 22 to 25 in in day temperature, it will give the 80% seed germination in 2 weeks. Varieties RRL 85-1. It has a 2 to 3% yellow violet oil. Yellow violet oil 2 to 3% RRL 85-1. Standard bearer right grow gent. Propagation. The crop can be grown from the seeds by raising the seedlings in nursery bed. It is mainly grown through the seeds. So normally we will grow the seeds in nursery bed. The seeds are sown in small beds, 1 meter width, 15 centimeter height, and convenient length. The size of the bed is 1 meter is the width, 15 centimeter height, and length is according to the requirement. Mid-September to mid-October is the time of sowing. At 50 gram seeds per beds are sown in 2 to 4 centimeter spacing. At 50 gram seeds per beds we have to sow in 2 to 4 centimeter in bed. Spacing is 2 to 4 centimeter. Spacing we have to maintain. Transplant the 60 days old seedling when 12 to 15 centimeter tall, 12 to 15 centimeter tall, 60 days old seedling to ensure the good crop stand. To escape the early season frost and low temperatures, the spacing is 30 into 30 or 40 into 25 centimeters ensure at a high rate of plant population. So normally the time it will take 60 days for transplanting into the main field when the height of plant is 12 to 15 centimeter. To ensure the early season frost and low temperature, the spacing is 30 centimeter into 30 centimeter or 45 centimeter into 25 centimeter to ensure the high rate of plant population. So FIM 20 to 30 ton of FIM we apply, nitrogen 80 to 200, 33 to 60 phosphorus, and 20 to 40 potassium per hectare we apply. Half of nitrogen and full dose of P and K at the time of planting. So normally half dose of nitrogen and full dose of P and K we apply at the time of planting. Remaining nitrogen is given as a top dressing 60 days. So nitrogen normally we apply in split dose. Why we apply the nitrogen in split dose? Because nitrogen has the leaching loss and denitrification loss. So to reduce the denitrification loss and leaching loss, we will apply the nitrogen in split dose. So first we apply at the time of land preparation as a basal dose, and remaining dose we apply 60 days after transplanting. In some in some locations, calcium deficiency is also observed. It will cause the black heart disease. So if the calcium deficiency is there, so it will cause the black heart. So for that also we will apply calcium chloride. Whereas boron deficiencies result in cracked stem and magnesium deficiency cause chlorosis. If the magnesium deficiency is there, that will cause the chlorosis, and boron deficiencies result in cracked stem. In such soil, 10 kg of each borax. So boron deficiency we will apply the 10 kg of borax, and magnesium sulfate are applied at 10 days interval. Borax or magnesium sulfate we apply 10 days interval to control the deficiency of magnesium and boron. Magnesium deficiency, boron deficiency, cracked stem, and magnesium chlorosis. Irrigation. The crop requires 10 to 12 irrigation at an interval of 8 to 7 days. 7 to 8 days interval, it requires the 10 to 12 irrigation. The crop requires 3 to 4 hoeing. The application of weedicide like Besalin 2.2 liter per hectare, flucloxacin 0.9 kg per hectare, and pendimethalin 0.6 kg per hectare. Flucloxacin 0.9 kg per hectare and pendimethalin 0.6 kg per hectare we apply. Harvesting: it takes 4 to 5 months from sowing to the seedling. 4 to 5 months from sowing to the seedling. The crops are harvested when 80% of the umbels are turns into the brown in color. So when we go for harvesting of the crop, when the 80% of the umbels are turns into the brown color. The plants are cut at ground level in early morning and sickles with the help of sickles to avoid the seed shedding. Normally we will cut the plant in early morning with the help of sickles we cut. If we cut like directly we will cut means that a seed shedding will be occur. Thereafter it is threshed, winnowed and graded with the help of sieve. So after harvesting we will go for threshing of the seeds. After that winnowing we will remove the seeds and then we grade the seeds. The seed is further dried and stored in gunny bags in a cool and dry place. After that again we will go for drying of the seeds, and then we keep into the gunny bags and keep into the cool and dry place. The yield is 10 to 15 quintal per hectare for dry seeds. The seeds can be stored for 1 to 3 years without much loss in the oil content or oil quality. So we can store the seeds for 1 to 3 years. In 1 to 3 years there is no loss, there is no much loss in the oil content and the oil quality. Storage. Celery is stored storage Celery in storage absorbs the foreign flavors. It should be kept away from the odor of other product. So normally whenever we store the celery, we will keep the away from the other product because it will take the smell of the other product and that smell will come in that. They are stored after harvest in trenches, cellars or cold storage. We can use the trench, we can use cellars, we can use, or we can go for cold storage. In cold storage, they are kept at 0 degree centigrade at 90 to 98% RH. Cold storage, the temperature is 0 degree centigrade and 95 to 98% relative humidity we will store the celery. The value added product. So value added product means celery seed oil. We will extract the oil from the seeds. Celery seed oleoresin. We will extract the seed oleoresin. Dehydrated celery leaves and freeze the dried celery. We will freeze the dried celery. Uses: it is used for the flavoring food, sauce and also in pickles. It is used for the flavoring the food, sauce and pickles. Seeds are carminative and nerve stimulant properties. They will stimulate the nerve. So it is used as a neurotonic in domestic medicine. Neurotonic also it is used because they are nerve stimulant means neurotonic it is used. Leaves are used in salad, also cooked vegetable. Pest and disease. Celery leaf miner, Lyromyza trifolia. The symptoms result in the early senescence of outer petioles, longer time the maturity and reduction in the yield. This will develop the leaf miner. The leaf miner attack means the leaf in the leaf they will the white color the leaf color will change into the white color. So there is a the economic part is leaves only. If the color will change, it is not accepted by the consumer. Second, the photosynthesis activity will be stored because the green leaf is mainly used in the photosynthesis activity. The color is changed into the white means the photosynthesis activity will be stopped. Spray the quinolephos 0.1% to control the leaf miner. Next is aphid. Aphid, the symptom is stunted plant growth and reduce the yield through removal of significant amount of sap. Means it will suck the sap from the leaf that transmit the viral disease such as Western celery mosaic. It is transmitted by the aphid only. Management: destroy the crop residues immediately after harvesting. So immediately after harvesting, they will destroy the means just after if there is attack of any virus, just after the attack of virus will start, that time only we will destroy the complete plant. Predators like syrphid flies or less wing we can use to control the aphid. Leaf blight, Cercospora api, the most prevalent in celery plant during the wet condition. So leaf blight is normally comes in the wet condition. The yellow spots on the both sides of the celery plant leaves. So in leaf blight, the yellow spots will develop on both sides of the celery plant. The spores expand and they turns grayish and develop a dry paper texture. Management: we can spray the thiophanate methyl 0.5%. We spray the thiophanate methyl 0.5% to control the leaf blight. Celery anthracnose. So it is caused by the Coletotrichum aconitum. So the symptoms are cupped leaves and twisted petioles. Cupped leaves will be start and the petioles are twisted. The long and thin brown lesions will appear on the leaves. Long and thin brown lesions will appear on the leaves. Management: spray the mancozeb. So anthracnose it is mainly controlled by the spraying of mancozeb. So this is all about the celery and dill. Thank you. Thank you all. Good morning all. Myself Manoj Kumar Bundela, Assistant Professor Suresh Gyan Vihar University Jaipur. So we are discussing about the production technology of vegetable and spices. In this, we start the next crop is muskmelon. So muskmelon, the scientific name is Cucumis melo, family Cucurbitaceae, origin is China. All cucurbites are botanically pepo, means botanically they are called as pepo. The fruit type is pepo and belongs to the family Cucurbitaceae. It is the largest group of summer season vegetable. More than 20 vegetables of this group are grown in India. So Cucurbitaceae family means Cucurbitaceae or cucurbits are the largest group of the summer season vegetable group. Introduction: muskmelon is an important crop cultivated throughout the India. It is used as a dessert fruit and also eaten alone. Very rarely it is used cooked vegetable in its green stage. Normally we will use the raw muskmelon only we have to use. Sometimes it is used as a cooked also. Muskmelon are monoecious plant. They do not cross with watermelon, cucumber, pumpkin or squash, but varieties within the species intercross frequently. The muskmelon is monoecious plant and it will not cross with the watermelon, cucumber, pumpkin or squash. But if we develop the varieties, that varieties they can grow. The use of cucurbits or food plant is not primarily for the calorie, minerals or vitamin value since they are poor or only modest source of nutrients. The edible protein content is 78%, moisture content is 95.2 gram per 100 gram, protein 0.3 gram per 100 gram, fat 0.2 gram per 100 gram, minerals 0.4 gram per 100 gram. So these are the composition of fruits. Cucurbitacin. Cucurbitacin, botanically, the cucurbits are characterized by the bitter principle that is called as cucurbitacin. The chemically, cucurbitacin are tetracyclic triterpenes. Tetracyclic triterpenes having the extensive oxidation level. So cucurbitacin it is present in the cucurbits and is a tetracyclic triterpenoids. Metaxenia. So metaxenia effect is present in cucurbits. The effect of pollen grains on the what is the metaxenia means the effect of pollen grains on the male tissue of fruits that is called as metaxenia varieties. Durgapur Madhu varieties Durgapur Madhu, the early variety rich in vitamin A, resistant to fusarium wilt, Pusa Rasraj. It is an early variety, Hara Madhu, late variety, Arka Jeet, excellent flavor, very good resistant to fusarium wilt and released by the IIHR Hesarghatta. Arka Rajhans, the excellent transport quality variety, it is a highly resistant to powdery mildew. So in cucurbits, powdery mildew is the major problem. So Arka Rajhans, it is a resistance to powdery mildew. Punjab Sunhari, Punjab Sunhari, it is a cross between the Hara Madhu into Edisto. DMDR2, Punjab Hybrid and Shorna. So these are the some important varieties of muskmelon. Soil: Muskmelon is mainly grown on sandy soil, or it is mainly grown in sandy soil or sandy loamy soil on the river beds. So river bed cultivation is very important in case of muskmelon. All the cucurbits are sensitive to acidic soil. pH is below 5.5, no cucurbits can be successfully grown and most of the cucurbits prefers the soil pH is between 6 to 7. Means 6 to 7 soil pH is the best soil pH. Muskmelon is slightly tolerant to acidity, not completely, but it is slightly tolerant to the acidity, means slightly it is grown in acidic soil also. But the best pH is 6 to 7 only. Climate: Cucurbits crop cultivated extensively in subtropical and tropical countries. Cucurbits are essentially warm season crop grown mainly in tropical and subtropical regions. Cucurbits are it is a warm season crop and they are grown in tropical and subtropical regions. For the good fruit quality and sweetness in melon, the dry weather during the fruit development is necessary. High temperature and sunshine produce the melons high in sugar content. If the high temperature is there, the sugar content will be increased in case of melons, like in watermelon, muskmelon. If the temperature will increase, the sugar content will be increased. Seed rate. So 1.5 to 2 kg per hectare or 1 kg by disbudding method. Means if we 1.5 to 2 kg per hectare normally is the seed rate. If we are going for dibbling method, then 1 kg seed rate is sufficient. Dibbling means one seed if we sow, then 1 kg seeds are sufficient for 1 hectare. Seed treatment. The fungicide, we use the fungicide like phenazimole and trimethanol applied to the seeds did not affect the germination and suppressed the powdery mildew effect when applied on 8 gram per kg of the seed. So 8 gram per kg of seeds we apply to control the powdery mildew. So in seed germination, normally when we show the seeds, there is a fungal disease will come. So to control the fungal disease, we will apply this. Manure and fertilizers. FIM 25 to 30 ton per hectare. So when we go for land preparation, that time we will apply the FIM 25 to 30 ton per hectare. Nitrogen 80 to 100 kg per hectare. Phosphorus 60 to 80 kg per hectare and potassium 40 to 60 kg per hectare. So nitrogen we apply in split doses. Nitrogen we not apply all nitrogen at a time. So nitrogen always we apply in split dose. So that because the nitrogen is a, there is a losses are there in nitrogen. One is denitrification losses are there. Second one is leaching losses are there. So to control the denitrification and leaching losses, we have to apply the nitrogen in split dose. And phosphorus and potassium full quantity we apply during the land preparation. Breeding. During the early stage of muskmelon, the crop gives the 3 to 4 hoeing to control the weeds and retain the soil moisture. To maintain the soil moisture and to control the weeds, we have to go for hoeing. Application of 2 kg Alachlor per hectare, 4 kg chloramine Chlorambane was effective to control the weed in Cucurbita maxima. Cucurbita maxima means muskmelon. 1.2 kg fluclorazine as a pre-sowing treatment or 0.48 kg fluclorazine plus 0.5 kg nitrogen as a pre-emergence are effective to control the weeds. So for weed control, we can use the pre-emergence and post-emergence herbicides we can use. So pre-emergence herbicides we can use the Elachlor and post-emergence herbicides we can use fluclorazine we can use. Mulching. Mulch is a material placed on the soil surface to maintain the moisture, to reduce the weed growth, mitigate the soil erosion and improve the soil condition. So mulching, why we go for mulching? So if we go for mulching means it will reduce the weed growth. So if we use the black mulch, the weed growth will be reduced. It will maintain the soil moisture. The moisture content in the soil will be maintained. Weed growth will be reduced and mitigation soil it will reduce the soil erosion. Soil will not pass out from one area to the another area. Improve the soil condition. Young in 1984 observed that the plastic mulch was effective in inhibiting the upward movement of soil salts, resulting in the better seedling survival, resulting into the better seedling survival and improve the yield. So if we use the plastic mulch, it will increase the yield. The greatest benefit was obtained with black plastic mulch. So if we use the black plastic mulch, we will get the good product, good yield. Next is disease. In disease, first one is fungal disease. So first one is powdery mildew. So this is the fungal disease which damages most of the cucurbits. It is caused by the it is caused by the Saprocroteria funginia, fuliginia. The mature muskmelon leaf covered in a wild mass of conidiospores and conidia of the fungus. The newly formed and young leaves are rarely infected by the fungus. Means only old leaves are infected. The fungal growth will be developed on the outer upper surface of the leaf, white color growths. Powdery mildew infection acts as an sink for the plant photosynthetic, causing the reduction in the plant growth, premature foliage loss, and consequently a reduction in the yield. In muskmelon, the plant advanced foliage infection frequently result in decrease the sugar content. So if a powder mildew attack is there, then the sugar content will be reduced. The disease spread quickly as the spores are carried by the wind. The spores are carried by the wind, so the disease will spread very fast. Control. Keratin 0.5% or carbendazim 0.1% are recommended to control the powdery mildew. Keratin 0.5% or carbendazim 0.1% is recommended to control the powdery mildew. Downy mildew. This is caused by the fungus identified as Pseudopernospora cubensis. Pseudopernospora cubensis. The disease is characterized by the formation of yellow, more or less angular spots on the upper surface of the leaves. So yellow or angular spots will develop on the upper surface of the leaves, with purplish spots appears on the upper surface of the leaves. Yellow or purplish spots will be appears on the upper surface of the leaves. The disease spread rapidly, killing the plant quickly through the rapid defoliation. In this, the downy growth will be appears on the lower surface of the leaves. The downy mildew is favored by cool, wet and humid conditions. The pathogen produces microscopic sac-like structures that is called as sporangia over a wide range of temperature 5 to 30 degrees centigrade temperature. The sporangia act similar to the spores; they are easily transferred to the healthy plant tissue by air current or splashing rain. Means the rains will fall down due to the rains they will pass, or by the air the spores will pass from one area to the another area. Once the land Once they land on the susceptible host, the germination they will start germinate and can directly infect the leaf within 1 hour. During the prolonged cool wet period, the sporangia can also burst open and release the many zoospores. The zoospores swing through the film of water along the leaf surface towards the stomata. These natural pores are primary point for the entry of the pathogen, result in the multiple infection on the leaf. Downy mildew infection on the cucurbits produce more sporangia within 4 days. Means within very few days, the more sporangia will be developed. Pathogen survival and spread. The downy mildew pathogen is an obligate parasite. It required living green plant tissue to survive. Control. The spray of diethane M45 if given early and repeated 2 to 3 times can control the disease effectively through not comparatively. Fusarium wilt pathogen Fusarium oxysporum. The early season Fusarium wilt infection result in the damping of seedling and transplant. Lateral infection causes the foliage to turn a dull grey, green and wilt followed by the general yellowing and defoliation. The Fusarium infection causes the vascular tissue to turn reddish-brown. The control the Fusarium wilt is controlled by carbendazim. We will spray the carbendazim. So this is the symptom of Fusarium wilt. The plant will start wilting, means plant will start dying. Anthracnose caused by the fungus Coletotrichum species. In the case of muskmelon, the cucumber reddish-brown dry leaf spots are formed, which often coalesce and cause the shriveling and death of the leaves. This is the brown colored spots will develop on the leaf. Period of activity: Anthracnose is late-season disease. It prefers the warm temperature of 22 to 27 degrees centigrade temperature and high relative humidity 100% for the 24 hours. Control: The disease can be controlled by the repeated spraying or 5 to 7 days interval with diethane M45. So diethane M45 we can use to control this, and 0.2% of diethane Z78 0.27%. Diethane Z78 we can use 0.2 percentage. Angular leaf spot. It is bacterial disease. The Pseudomonas syringe. The initial lesions appears as a small tan, water-soaked spots that are the that are the delinked by the leaf veins. As the lesions enlarge, the dead center fallout. So in bacterial disease, angular leaf spot, initial lesions appears as a small tan, like small tanning will start. Water-soaked spots that are the delinked by the leaf vein. The leaf vein, the water-soaked lesions will appear like this. As the lesions enlarge and the dead center fall out. Management: the copper fungicides applied every 5 to 10 days may be helpful. So we can apply the copper fungicide 5 to 10 days interval. Particularly after rain, we can apply the copper fungicides. Disease cycle: the bacteria survival in the soil on the plant debris form the up to 2 years. Means the bacteria is present in the soil debris or plant debris for 2 years, and the bacteria are spread by the cucumber beetle or the human activity. Next is insect pest. The first one is red pumpkin beetle. The both grub and adult attack the crops at seedling stage and make the holes in the cotyledonary leaves. Means they will make the holes on the cotyledonary leaves. In severe attack, in severe attack, the crop is totally destroyed. Means when the attack is severe, the crop is totally destroyed because the leaf, they will eat the leaf. So if they will eat the leaf, then what can happen? The chlorophyll synthesis will be reduced and plant will die. To avoid the damage, sow the crop in November. Means we have to sow the crop early and apply the malathion 5% at 20 to 25 kg per hectare. Aphid gossypii. These tiny insects causes the damage to form in April to June. The mainly the aphid attack in the month of April to June, means after the harvesting of mustard and wheat. The damage by sucking the sap from the foliage, means the aphid will suck the sap from the leaf, and aphid also spread the viral disease, and they will spread the viral disease. So this you can see the aphid attack on the leaf. Fruit fly, Docus cucurbitae. The adult flies the adult flies will enter into the tender fruits and lay the egg inside the epidermis of the fruit skin. The maggots feed the inside the fruits and spoil them. Their attack is serious in long melon. So in long melon, what will happen? The adult will enter the egg inside the fruits, and from that egg the maggots will come and the maggots will eat the inside fruits. To control this, we apply the backed spray containing the 0.05% of malathion. We apply the 0.05% malathion we apply, and 10% good or sugar in 20 liter of water. So malathion we apply with 10% of good, or we can use the good or sugar in 20 liter of water we can apply. Viral disease. So cucumber mosaic virus. The first viral disease is cucumber mosaic virus. So the young leaves develop a small greenish yellow area, and more they are more translucent than those in the remaining parts of the leaf. The leaves will start mottling of the leaves will start and mottling of the leaves and fruits will start. The virus is transmitted by the sap, seed and aphid. So it is mainly transmitted by the aphid, cucumber mosaic virus. To control this, we spray the monocrotophos 0.03% at weekly interval to control the aphid vectors. So normally it is a viral disease. So for viral disease, we not have any chemicals to control this. So only what we have to do, we will control the means like we will control the vectors. So it is transmitted by the aphid. So we have to control the aphid, or we will use the we will use the resistance varieties. We can use the pheromone traps we can use to control the insect attack, or we can collect the plants and destroy the plant. That is the only solution. Pumpkin yellow vein mosaic. So pumpkin yellowing mosaic, the important symptoms of disease is yellowing of the veins. The veins will start yellowing. These are the veins, they will start yellowing. The infected plants show the stunted growth and rarely bears the fruit. The virus is transmitted by whitefly. So pumpkin yellowing mosaic is transmitted by the whitefly, Bemisia tabaci. To control this, what we have to do, we have to collect the plant and destroy the plant. That is the first solution. Second, we have to control the population of whiteflies. So that is controlled by use of dimethoate. 15 days interval, we have to use the dimethoate to reduce the population of whiteflies. By using the dimethoate, we can control the population of whiteflies. In cultural method, we can use the light traps. We can use, or we can use the yellow sticky traps. So the insect will attracted to the yellow sticky traps. We can control that, or we can use to develop the resistance varieties. We can use the neem seed kernel extract to control the insect. Root knot nematode: the attack result in the poor patchy and reduced growth of the crop. So it is mainly developed on the roots. The roots will not develop properly, means small size roots will develop. The roots will not develop. If the roots will not develop, then the water supply, the minerals will not supply to the plants. So leaves become yellowing and reduce the size. So if the water is not available, if the minerals are not available to the plant, they will not supply through the roots. Then what will happen? The size of the leaves will be reduced and the yellowing of the leaves will be start. To control this, we can use fumigate the soil with DD mixture of Nimazone 20 to 25 kg per hectare. So 20 to 25 kg Nimazone we can use to control this root knot nematode. Next is harvesting. Muskmelon fruits are ready for harvesting when the fruits are externally color is changed. When we harvest the fruits, when the color of the fruits is changed. The clear sign of maturity in most of the melons variety is when the rind changes to the color from gray to green to yellow. Means normally the rind color, this is the rind. So the color of the rind is starting, it is in green color. And when the fruits are mature, the color of the rind is changed into the yellow color. So this is the major symptom we can say that the fruit is ready for harvesting. So in muskmelon, the color of the rind is changed. Normally, these fruits are mature in 85 days to 115 days depending on the varieties and climatic conditions. Like this also we can harvest, means they will take the 85 to 115 days. So from the sowing of the seeds we can count the days. Means when the 85 days complete or when the 115 days complete, then 85 to 115 days we have to check that and then we can harvest that. So this is also the one of the symptoms of maturity of muskmelon. So muskmelon maturity index is normally we check by two methods we can use. First is days from sowing to the development of the fruits, and second is color of the rind will change into the green to yellowish color. So these are the two main symptoms. In watermelon, what we have to do, when we dip the watermelon, the dull sound will come. So if the dull sound will come means the watermelon is mature. But if the metallic sound will come means then the watermelon is not mature. So like this, that is the symptoms of harvesting of watermelon. The total yield is 100 to 150 quintals per hectare. So in 1 hectare we will get 100 to 150 quintals per hectare yield. So this is the harvesting of this muskmelon. So when we go for harvesting, just we keep this small tendrils we have to keep, so that what will happen if we keep this, so that we can keep it for the store it for the longer period of the time. If we harvest like this means it will damage and there is a attack of fungal in this area. So thank you for your time. Thank you all. This is all about the muskmelon. Thank you.